Visit Hellsberg.com for safe and easy ways to shop this holiday, like free shipping and returns, virtual shopping appointments, or buy online and pick up in store. And right now, get a free Microsoft Surface Go 2 with the purchase of $1,499 or more. You gift, you get. Limited time offer while supplies last. See online or in store for details.
Buying a used truck can be full of unknowns. But at Penske, we know trucks. Our expert sales team can help you find the right used vehicle to meet your business needs. Plus, at Penske, buying is easy with financing, insurance, and warranty programs available. Leave the unknowns behind and buy with confidence. View Penske's entire inventory, current deals, manager specials, and used truck center locations at PenskeUsedTrucks.com.
What's going on? You're tuned into the Cigars with Mac podcast. Today, I would like to discuss why men get no excuses. Yeah, I felt that on my mind this morning, on my heart, man, we get no excuses. And for the most part, that goes across the board, even with race, to a certain degree. But so many things have been happening, especially in this country. So many things have happened to where men have to hold their own and they have to be accountable. But for the most part, women don't. Some people will probably say, yeah, women are held accountable. No, not really. Not to the degree of a man. Not to the degree of a man. Yeah. I know that's tough for people to hear, especially a woman that may be out here trying to get it, and she just can't catch a break. And I know it's hard for you to kind of comprehend that, but if you just sit back, listen, you'll understand. You'll understand. Anyway, when I say that, men are not giving excuses. For instance, there are some women that I've known, personally, that have children, single parents, divorced, doesn't matter right now. But these women have had children, and they falling on hard times, and they pretty much get to, live with people or live with friends, live with family members, and if a man does that, has a number of children, and he falls on hard times and he has to go back living with people, society is not favorable upon that. In their eyes, you're a man. You should get off your ass. Stop being lazy. That's what they say. But men do fall on hard times too. But men are not given the same pass. It is not as favorable. Hell, you have women who say they don't even want to date a man who lived with his parents. They don't want to date a man who doesn't have his own car. Basic necessities, but things happen in life, people. Things happen in life. But as non-traditional as we try to be, we still all hold some sort of traditional values, if that makes sense to you. And men are not given those passes like that. I know I was in a Facebook group, and a young lady posted her picture with showing off her little outfit and her going to work and all that. And then she managed to put on there her Cash App. And a couple of men were like, why do you need to post your Cash App? Why do you need to get money for being an essential worker? And she tried to play it off saying, people just give people money for the fuck of it. And no, they don't. She thought by her showing her big ass and her curves that some sucker would give her money. And somebody probably did give her money. I highly believe there was some man that was oohed and awed by her beauty, and he decided to bless her on her Cash App. Nothing wrong with that if that's what he want to do. But as a man, I have never been able to put my Cash App on the internet and people give money to me. First of all, I've never done it. Secondly, if I did do it, people would look at me like something's wrong with me. Thirdly, I wouldn't do it. I mean, I'm not going to be begging people for money. But as a man, we don't have that luxury. We just don't. We don't have the luxury of society taking pity upon us in time of needs. For instance, like right now during the COVID-19, a lot of men have been affected just like women have. I'm on LinkedIn and I noticed, I just noticed these things, that men just don't get the same pass as people. I remember doing a podcast a couple weeks back on black male privilege, and we explained to the young lady that there's no such thing as black male privilege. And a lot of people have to understand, take yourself out the equation. Take yourself out the equation and just look at hardcore numbers. For instance, there are really not a lot of men's shelters for men. You know? Excuse me. There are not a lot of men's shelters for men, for homeless men. It's a rarity. There are not a lot of programs that will allow a man to just lay up and get his shit together for 4 or 5 months and to, become a productive citizen. Yeah, you have drug rehabs, but we're talking about men's shelters that give you real skills, that will invest in you, that will give you a stipend, that will help you get an apartment. I have not seen those programs. If they exist, someone please let me know. Email me at info@cigarswithmacpod.com. info@cigarswithmacpod.com. That's info@cigarswithmacpod.com. If you can find any, please let me know so I can share it. But anyway, I have never seen these type of programs for men. I just haven't. The overall majority, I haven't. And what prompted me to do this podcast was, the tax deadline was July 15th. And my wife and I, we turned ours in maybe a week prior to, I'm going to put it out there, H&R Block. And H&R Block, this will be my last time using you. Anyway, there was a young lady who was supposed to do our taxes. She called, told my wife that we were going to get a refund back. And a month later, the one thing I don't play with is Uncle Sam, but a month later, I'm like, hold on. She never asked for my direct deposit. What's going on? Because she even called me. And so me and my wife, we called H&R Block to find out what's going on. Fast forward, this young lady didn't even file the damn taxes, people. She didn't even file the taxes. Y'all, it's a few people in this country I don't play with. I don't play around with Uncle Sam. And I don't play around with his nephews. You wanna know who they are? Uncle Sam's nephews are the FBI, CIA, DEA, and one in particular I don't play around with is the IRS. And when you start talking about taxes, you're messing with Uncle Sam's nephew, the IRS. Now, they already gave us an extension to July 15th with this COVID-19 stuff. And this lady got our tax information. And due to COVID-19, we were not able to actually go into a tax office because otherwise we would have. But we had to give them to her, put them on a stack, and she'd get to them. Okay? So she didn't get to them. We finally caught up with her, and she'll be doing our taxes today. So we're going to use a little bit of wisdom and not go off on her until she gets done. But anyway, as a man, there's no way in the fuck I could get away with doing some shit like that. But because she's a woman, society feels sorry for her. No, I do not hate women. I love women. I think women are some of the most beautiful creatures on planet Earth. Give a damn what color they are. Beautiful women are beautiful women, people. So Let's get that out the way. But because this is the Cigars with Mac podcast, I talk about a variety of subjects that I know people can relate to. But anyway, as a man dealing with people's sensitive information, there's no way in the hell I could get away with that. There's no way. And I really cannot believe that this woman has no awareness as to what she did. You know, her excuse was she was moving from different, because H&R Block has different tax office locations, and the one that we took our taxes to, she was there and they shut down because it's no longer tax season, things of that nature. I understand all that. But you could have been communicating with us. She said that the call block was on, but leave a voicemail and I'll return your call. See, there's no excuse. There's no excuse, people. But because she's a female, I have to chalk the L up and move on. And I told her, what are the implications for this being late? I said, because this is not my fault, but again, government don't care about that. All they want is their money. IRS wants their money. Even though we're already paying taxes, they still want their tax. They want their taxes, people. And maybe they'll give me a refund. I don't know. No big deal, but I just don't like owing people. I don't like having to give away money for stupid shit. The older I get, the more I appreciate and the more I value my money. And the older I get, the more I learn, don't play around with the IRS. People have gotten serious prison time for avoiding the IRS. So don't play around with them. I don't play around with them. Me and the IRS are not friends. We are just mutual cohorts. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. But anyway, men and women, the accountability levels are so different. And men, we are just not allowed to give excuses. I remember a couple years ago, a family member of mine was on Facebook, and he was attempting to fill out a FAFSA, and for whatever reason he couldn't. He didn't understand how to do it, And instead of him just asking for help, he went there bitching about how our family is so big and everybody's selfish. And the fact of the matter was that a couple of us took it as maybe he was just asking for money. And he said he wasn't, and he went to a diatribe about how he's not cut from the same cloth. But if we're related, we are from the same DNA cloth, sir. But that's not even important. Anyway, I explained to him that another relative did, that, man, if you need help, you got to just ask. But I also explained to him that, man, you are a man. You are a man, and the world doesn't give a fuck about you. Especially being a black man. And he didn't understand what I was saying. I'll give him another 7-8 years, he'll get it. that being a man, the world does not give you any excuses. I see men on child support. If they miss one payment, now they're a deadbeat. Now they ain't shit because they missed a payment on child support. But nobody says anything about women who on child support who miss payments. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really feel pity for women on child support. Because there are more men on child support. I don't have any pity for that. We live in a society where we're all equal. So if we're all going to be equal, we're all going to be equal. But when you start talking about men being accountable, okay, I have no problem with that. But why does the world not hold women to accountability also? Why? Because we're different. I know why. But even though we live in this society where, everyone is equal, everyone is not equal. We're just not, people. Everyone is not the same. Everyone is not accountable on the same level. And that's just a fact. Is it fair? No, it's not fair. But as the old saying goes, equal is not always fair, and fair is not always equal. So, it is what it is. But when you start talking about excuse giving, this woman gave us some type of excuse, but I'm just not buying it. Because I could only imagine had I done some shit like that. But anyway, let me get off that because I can really do a whole podcast on that alone. Because what she did was really fucked up. But when we start talking about excuses for men or for women, and let's go back to what I was talking about with the young lady posting that Cash App. Why does she find it acceptable to do that? I'll tell you why. Because society has told women that men are supposed to take care of them. And that is not wholeheartedly true because I don't just give money to random women. As a man, I'm a married man. I don't just open my wallet to random women to just give them money because they have a cute face and a beautiful body. That's not even, that's foolishness. That's foolishness. I can't even come up with the words to explain how dumb that shit is. But society has told her that men are supposed to take care of her. That's what she's been told by society. So that's why she's had no problem with going online and begging complete strangers for money. Now, I understand if you're in a need financially or if you lost your job due to the pandemic. I have no problem contributing to that. But you just put on your post that you are an essential worker And if you feel like blessing me, here's my Cash App. I even tried to get her on the podcast, but she did not come. I don't blame her, because I need answers to why she needs to ask for money on the internet. And she's not the only woman who does that. I spoke on this in previous podcasts about the Instagram model hustle and things of that nature. But this woman is a so-called working woman who has a job, and she felt the need to ask people for money. Why she did that, I don't know. And I was glad to see that some men pushed back on giving her money. They were like, hey, what do you need? What do you need money for? Why? Why do you need money? And I had to let a lot of men know that if you go on Facebook, Facebook has these little groups, and you find women who have their Cash App on their Facebook. And I'm not saying they're prostitutes, but sure does look like it. Why do you need to have your Cash App on your Facebook? What are you promoting? What are you doing that warrants people to give you money for nothing? Unless you're performing services for them. And as a man, we just don't have that luxury. We don't have the luxury of just posting online and begging for money. Even though some men do it. They don't do it in a way that a woman would do it, but they do it in a subtle way. So I'm not saying that men don't do it, but it's a certain way they finesse the game. So you got to ask yourself, why are these types of things tolerated? I mean, you can't even go on Instagram without people trying to scam you. At least me personally, I don't know if everybody's dealt with it, but I've had people literally steal other people's pages that I know and then asking me for money, posing as a friend of mine on Instagram. And I'm like, okay, this doesn't even sound like them. And I would go back and check and find out this was a fake page. And thank God I didn't give them any money. I've even gone to restaurants and I've seen the difference between a male and female waiter, and the excuses that the woman gives is sad, people. It's sad. The excuses that they give, why they didn't do a good job is beyond me. I mean, hell, just the other day I was ordering some groceries from Instacart, and a young lady, she was doing my stuff, and she was saying they didn't have this, they didn't have that. And it was actually early in the morning when I ordered it, and I had to let her know, hey, take your time, do a good job. I said, I go to this very store and they have everything I need. Why are you not able to find it? Take your time. This is my money I'm spending. I need you to take your damn time. Stop rushing. Because what it is with Instacart, I was going to do Instacart a couple years ago. But I didn't do it because I didn't want to deal with that, with getting people groceries and replacements and all that. But anyway, how Instacart works is, if you're an efficient, worker of Instacart, you want to try to get people's orders done as fast and quick as you can so you can take another job. Well, that's fine and dandy, but you're basically saying the store doesn't have what I need when I know goddamn well they do. This is $1 billion conglomerate that you're going to, and their order system is synced with the Instacart platform. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm quite sure it's not 100% effective, but I guarantee you it's in the 90s. They're not going to make those kind of mistakes of saying they have something, don't have it, because on the app, if it doesn't have it, it'll tell me out of stock. Because of the pandemic, COVID-19, certain things they cannot manufacture. I understand that because of goods and services, but there are certain things that there's a plethora of. And like I told her, I said, ma'am, they have what I ordered. I said, you're rushing. And she apologized and she fixed it, and I got no more excuses from her. And the thing about Instacart people is when you order from them, say for instance, your order's like $50, they're gonna charge your card for $70 just in case, and whatever you don't spend, they credit it back to your bank account. But I just find that so funny that she tried to give me some cockamamie excuse, and I was like, no. I go to this store a lot. I frequent this store a lot. You're just not taking your time. Because every time I go there, I find what I need. Notice I said need, not what I want. Because some things what I really want, they don't really have anymore. Because again, due to the shortages, due to things, a lot of stuff we get is manufactured overseas, certain ingredients, so I understand certain things they won't have. I get that. But for the most part, in my eyes, they're running at about a 75% efficiency rate, and I'm okay with that. But as a man, it goes back to what I was just saying. As a man, I do not have that luxury of doing that, even on my everyday job. When people come to me for things, I am expected to deliver. I am expected to deliver a product or service with no excuses. And I know that I do that very well. But anyway, I'm going to end this podcast. I think I've said enough. I don't want to keep repeating myself. I know people get tired. I don't really like being too redundant. But I haven't produced a podcast in a couple of weeks. I just kind of been chilling out, I ain't gonna lie. Kind of taking a little break from podcasting because it takes a lot out of you, believe it or not. Especially when you do it right. But thank you for tuning into the Cigars and Mac podcast. If you have any show ideas, hit me up at info at CIGARSWITH macpod.com. That's info@cigarswithmacpod.com. Anyway, you be blessed, and we're out.
You're making grilled cheese tonight. The store with the really, really good cheese closes at 7. If it's 12.1 miles away and work ends at 5:45 but rush hour picks up around 6:15, when's the latest you can leave for cheese? Don't know? Not to worry. Waze knows. Take a look at the traffic forecast and plan your drive ahead of time. Waze. Download and drive today.
Let CareerBuilder help you rehire fast. Post your next job with CareerBuilder and get an application rate that's nearly 7 times higher than our competitors. CareerBuilder, we're building for you. Visit hiring.careerbuilder.com/recruit.